Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about COVID vaccination. To let you know, I'm 37 weeks pregnant and that's why the change in background. I cannot sit on floor anymore. I'm fully vaccinated with Pfizer. I can share my experiences, how it has impacted me. So you have someone who can share their first-hand experience. I know pregnancy is such a critical time and you might have different lot of questions, not only around this time because it's not only about you, but also your baby. So I thought I make this video and try to explain how my experience been, but irrespectively you need to get vaccinated. Let's get vaccinated, guys. I thought of making this video a chatty one so that I can share my experience, try to answer all the questions any mom would have in mind, all the questions that I had in mind before I get vaccinated. But before we get started, subscribe to my channel and let's get started with the video. I'm currently 37 weeks pregnant, so when I thought of getting vaccinated, there was not much clarity on if pregnant women should get vaccinated, and then the government stated that it's absolutely safe for pregnant women to get vaccinated. By then Pratik already had his first dose of AstraZeneca and he had terrible fever. Second dose did not affect him at all, but the first dose was very troublesome for him. He was really down with fever for about 3 days until he had paracetamol, and back then we didn't have as many Pfizer available like it's now at this point. So I checked with my OB to see if it would be okay for me to get vaccinated. There are two reasons. One is, as I said, there was still confusion on pregnant women being vaccinated. Number two is I have drug allergy with paracetamol, and because I've seen Pratik's condition, I was really not sure if it would be okay for me to get vaccinated that moment. And in case I get fever, my concern was again for any mom would have that it would not only affect me but the baby. So I was really skeptical. What my doctor said made absolute sense, and he gave me a heads up of going ahead and get vaccinated. He said you will never die out of fever, even if it's for 3 days or maybe more, but you will definitely die of COVID. And the day that I had the doctor's appointment, I went ahead and booked myself for AstraZeneca. First reason is because Pfizer was not available as much, as I said before. Second is AstraZeneca, the center was just behind my house, so I could just go during my lunch break, get vaccinated, come back, and it was easy, you know. I was booking my appointment on Friday and I think I got appointment on Tuesday, so it was that quick, it was that easily available. I got my appointment on 17th of August. I thought that whatever be it, because my OB has said you can go ahead and get vaccinated, so I went in. I waited, my number came. When I went in, I was visibly pregnant. I was 32 weeks pregnant. So the nurse asked me if I was pregnant. I said yes, of course. So she then told me that they are not giving AstraZeneca to any pregnant woman. She even checked with one of her colleagues and she said the same thing, that they are not giving AstraZeneca to any of the pregnant women. Now she asked me if I have checked this with my GP or OB. I said I'm under OB, so yes, my OB said I can go ahead and get vaccinated. She said if your OB has said you can get vaccinated, then it's okay. It's not a problem for me to get you vaccinated as long as you say yes. But again, when you get something in your head, especially if it's for your baby, you're not going to do it, right? I said if you say that you haven't given any AstraZeneca to any of the pregnant women, I think I will just choose to leave it for now. So nurse then suggested you are almost due in 2 months, so wait for the baby to come and we can then get you vaccinated. But I really wanted to get vaccinated while being pregnant, is because so that the baby can build the antibodies in her as well, so that when she's here, she has the immunization built in her. So yeah, I was a bit sad that didn't happen. I came back, we had a team meeting. I shared my experience of AstraZeneca with all my colleagues, and my colleagues did help me. Even my friends went on searching different sites for me to get me booking for Pfizer. Guess what? We got a very quick booking. I was scheduled for 17th of August and the Pfizer first dose that I got in was for 22nd of August. But the second dose that I was getting was on 17th of October, which is after the baby is here, which is really troublesome. I thought of, we'll see to it later, but now let's just go ahead and get this book. I have gotten both the first shot and second shot from 2 different places. So I am in the right position to explain how the experience been for both the places. My first shot again was on 17th of August in Kudos Bank Arena. When we reached there was a long queue. So the process is first you scan the QR code as we do wherever we go these days. Then you show that you have checked into the first counter. You go ahead for the second counter. In second counter, they actually verify your photo ID, not address proof, but photo ID. Any document that has your photo, your name, along with your date of birth. For me, I showed my passport. Once you go in, you go to third counter where I think she was nurse maybe. She would ask you all different questions like if you are not feeling well, if you had any fever. So at the third counter, as I said, I was visibly pregnant. She asked me if I was well enough to stay in the queue or if I would want to someone escort me and put me in priority. By then, I was really feeling well. So I told her that I'm okay to stay and wait in queue. They also give you a new mask and sanitizer to sanitize your hand. As I said before, the queue was really long. And by the end of it, I was really exhausted. It was sunny outside. Out of nowhere, a volunteer came in and he got me off the queue and got me in priority. If I'm not wrong, I think I have skipped about 100 to 120 people before me. Imagine I said about 30 minutes of wait in the queue, and even after that, I'm skipping about 100 to 120 people. So how big the line was. Now, beyond this point, it was no photography zone, so I couldn't make any videos. He took me. There was again another nurse who asked me the general questions, if I have filled up the consent form, if I was pregnant. The nurse then told me that she knew people who had AstraZeneca while being pregnant, and the nurse gave me the shot. We had to wait for 15 minutes, the general wait time, and then I got off. That day, I did not really feel anything. I mean, it was all okay for me. By evening, I started to feel a little bit of pain, but it was nothing too much. It was all manageable. A bit of dizziness. The second day, I had horrible sore arm. The next day, because of sore arm, I couldn't do anything, although I was working, but I was not as active. By the next day, I was all okay. The sore arm was gone. Now the story about second dose. As I told you before that I was scheduled for 17th of October, I really wanted to get it before the baby. There are two reasons to it. Number one is we don't have any family in here. I have got only Pratik as support. And the second reason is I really wanted to finish the course while I'm pregnant so that the baby get the antibodies as well. I was at my friend's place when he said that his colleague has just informed that there are slots available with Sonic Macquarie for 13th, which was just the next day. We jumped into the Sonic site and we got a slot for 13th. I booked it for 12:30 and I was then 36 weeks pregnant. It was not as long queue as I had seen in Kudos Bank. We were told to scan the QR code. Then we were asked to stand in a queue to confirm if we have submitted the consent form and then show our photo ID and show the proof of the first dose. Once that was done, it barely took me about 5 minutes to get the second jab. And as usual, they asked me to wait for 15 minutes to see if it has reacted or not. It was a little bit worse than first dose, I would say. I had sore arm, which stayed for 1 day. I was feeling a little feverish, but not any high temperature. A lot dizzier than the first jab, but nothing too worse. By second day after the jab, I was all okay. I was back to normal. Now coming to most asked question from mums to be is if it's safe for you and your baby. Talking from my experience, it absolutely is safe. So far for both myself and the baby, we are doing really good. Tad bit sad because we are still in lockdown and I don't think that we are going to get our maternity shoot done before the baby's here. So yeah, that was my experience with COVID jab as a pregnant woman. Let me know in the comments if you are pregnant and got vaccinated, how your experience been. Like this video and let me know what kind of content would you like to see more on this channel. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.